Welcome to tonight's episode of Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel, and as always, I have a very special guest for you. But tonight I have two lovely guests. I have Ayanna Dutton and Delaila Catalino from Non-Corporate Girls. They'll be with us for the next 30 minutes, so stay with us. You're watching Beyond Focus TV.
Beyond Focus TV allows you to discuss contemporary topics affecting the Caribbean people on both a national and local level. The show features informed guests who offer insight, debate, and evaluate various issues. Beyond Focus TV builds on the station's mission to provide useful information to the Caribbean people in New York and abroad. Beyond Focus TV, where our viewing audience can get educated, informed, and empowered.
Welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel. And like I said, I have two lovely ladies, not one. I have two non-corporate girls. They'll be with us, giving us the whole rundown on what's it all about. So, Delaila and Ayanna, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Your energy is so amazing.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's great to have you here. We love having people in the community who do big things. Really that grassroots kind of approach. So before we get into it, I would love each of you to just get introduced to the audience. So my hot seat question is always who is. So I'm going to start with who is Delaila Catalino? Not the other Delaila from the radio, but you know.
The Delaila Catalino.
The Delaila, okay?
Yes, so Delaila, who is she? She's an Afro-Latina that is Puerto Rican and Dominican, from Brooklyn, so yes. I'm currently living in the Bronx with a background in marketing and social media, and most current a co-host on Non-Corporate Girls with Ayanna.
That is amazing, super exciting. And Ayanna, what about yourself?
So, Ayanna, I am also an Afro-Latina. I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, and my background's in marketing and branding. I love helping people and small businesses evolve themselves and tell their story. And of course, doing that through Non-Corporate Girls is my passion.
Amazing. So, Non-Corporate Girls, let's unpack it. Let's kind of break it down. How did this all get started?
Yes, Ayanna, please.
So, Delaila and I have always been trying to start something together. We've known each other for about 10 plus years now. We lose count. And we always wanted to start a business or something. And we never knew what it was, and we wanted to make sure that we were intentional with everything that we were doing. So, fast forward, just being in corporate America, we've noticed that we were one of the onlys in the room often, whether it's the only woman, the only person of color. We all can relate to that.
Like how you said that, the onlys.
The onlys.
It's so true, though, but keep going.
And so, we would vent all the time on GChat. And one day, we happened to go to a fashion event. Both of our backgrounds is in fashion. We actually met doing Fashion Week, Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week, a couple of seasons. And we went to this fashion event, and someone asked us, what do you do? And so we're we're slashies. We do everything. And I was we're kind of like the Non-Corporate Girls. And then the person was like, oh, we never heard that. And me and Delaila had a light bulb. We're oh, we never heard that either. And
but
then
you just did.
It was in our head. We were oh my God, what can we do with this? What can we do with this? And being in fashion and beauty, we've done YouTube hauls, we're all of that stuff. We're but we've never done a podcast. And so we must not be the only people in the world who feel like us, who vent about the frustrations of being the onlys, who are corporate professionals and entrepreneurs and trying to figure it out. So we decided to start a platform to really cultivate a community to talk about these challenges.
That's amazing. So we know how it got started, but how's been the experience for you, Delaila, just this journey so far?
Absolutely. It's been an ebb and flow and a lot of pivoting. We feel even with Non-Corporate Girls, we've have reinvented ourselves many times throughout the last 5 years, just trying to find our niche, honing on our messaging, being true to ourselves and staying authentic. That's so important to me and Ayanna, and just kind of refining the brand altogether. And I feel we are in a really good space now.
That's so great to hear. You guys hit on so many things that I was experienced, and I just didn't have a label for it.
Yeah.
Being the only so many times, and then I work in corporate, working in an ad agency. Day job is executing media campaigns, and you hear all these different things when their favorite word is DEI. Everything's diversity, equity, and inclusion, but you're not really being inclusive because you're not even including. You're making things for people and don't even include those people in these conversations, and then be well, we're inclusive. I'm did you have a conversation about this?
You need to listen to the podcast.
It's performative.
You are a Non-Corporate Girl.
Oh, epitome. You're the epitome of a non-corporate girl.
It's so crazy, and we see it all the time. One of my latest, the hurricane in Puerto Rico that happened, yes, it hit Florida. They sent out correspondences to everybody. Oh, Florida relief. I'm like, in our private chat, we're like, so half the team is Puerto Rican. My family's Trini. Another girl's Iranian. Like, we're all black, brown, ethnic, diverse. And privately, we're like, so did they just totally not realize Puerto Rico had? And we're laughing, but that's kind of sad. I'm like, how did that go over their head?
Right.
And I'm like,
common.
It's so much to unpack there, even in that question within itself.
It's like, you see little things, and you're like, I don't understand how this could be. You know, there's that whole movement, and there's a lot of money to be made. They make money off of having us there because they don't, especially when you're like Afro-Latino, they don't know which box to put you in.
Right.
Correct. And it's not one box.
No, because they're like, so you're Hispanic. Yes, but I'm also black. They're like, oh, God, you're throwing off our numbers now.
Right.
You're skewing us off.
Yeah, because it's like you get counted twice. But it's just like Caribbean people in New York. You know, you get counted under black, but you're also Caribbean itself, which is its own demographic and its own population.
And culturally, there's so many different nuances because we're so different, even being in the Caribbean. Like, we have so much commonalities, but we have so many differences.
It's crazy. So they never know how to approach it.
Yeah.
So you end up being the only one who has enough knowledge to call out certain things.
Correct.
Yeah.
You know, when you're working in advertising, for instance, you know, when you get a brief on your desk and it's going to go to a certain market, you're like,
correct.
You already could see.
And
like,
advertising and marketing is tough in general, like the industry. It's just how do you like stand your ground to be the voice in the room when you're not included?
You're the only one not heard.
Right, and so it's hard.
Or you get it the other way where they want to be, all these companies want to feel included. Like right now, mixed kids, like you remember like having a Afro kid with loose hair, but like not too dark of a complexion,
acceptable enough.
Yeah, you pass, but they want the big hair. They would be like, we want a black, we want that black kid. You have to look like that shade.
Right.
And it's like, you're not really helping this situation, but you have to be voices of change sometimes. You have to be a catalyst for it.
Absolutely. And that is what we speak a lot, or at least the guests that we have on the show share their experiences with how they try to unpack that, how they try to not fix it, because I'm not in charge of what the company represents, but trying to advocate on behalf of people like us.
So then how would you suggest to people who, like us, what's the right direction to go toward when you experience this? How do you speak up without being like the angry person in the room? Or you never want to offend, but you want to educate and enlighten in a positive way?
So I'll give the 9 to 5 answer, and you could give the 5 to 9. So for the
I love that.
yes, it's because we speak to two sets of people, and even with that, there's subsets. But you know, that's where the 9 to 5 and the 5 to 9 meet, is the non-corporate girls. And so for the 9 to 5ers, I would definitely suggest starting an ERG, which is an employee resource group. And I feel like a lot of people don't have that. I didn't realize how much of a privilege that is to create, but it is a starting point where you can get like-minded individuals. Again, sometimes we're the only, right? So you might have to rally up people who support the cause and may not be like you, or there could be other people of color, maybe across other departments, where you can gather, create a meeting time, connect once a month, and you can do programming that supports, you know, your culture as it relates to work.
Hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break. Yes. We'll be right back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. So, ladies, before the break, we're talking about the 9 to 5 and the 5 to 9.
Correct.
Pick back up with that 9 to 5 answer.
Absolutely. So just, you know, people that support that culture or the movement or cause, getting together, choosing a cadence of when you guys can meet and creating programming with, whether it's an outing outside of the office, maybe introducing the foods or things that we do as a people in the company and getting people kind of to like buy in, and you'll just start seeing that it does build up camaraderie and just getting people to be more knowledgeable of what our culture brings to the table and our point of view.
All right. 5 to 9.
So on the 5 to 9 side, there's a different muscle you're exercising. A lot of people in corporate America, they realize that they can't find these opportunities, so they decide to create their own, right? And so when we talk to our 5 to 9, we're talking to the entrepreneurs, we're talking to the side hustlers, right?
Those are the 24/7s, really.
Okay, but 5 to 9 is like buzzy. So we're talking to them and really figuring out like what's the niche, what's missing. And so a lot of people you've seen, there's been a rise of people creating community spaces. There's recruitment types of companies. There are workout companies that are just specifically for women of color. There's all these different communities that are popping up outside of the corporate spaces, and people are being their own founders, they're being their own bosses, they're creating their own teams of people who you don't see in corporate to kind of manage and lead this. And so that's really important too. And also it's important to note that like you may have an idea, and like Delaila said, you may be able to create something within, or you may not, and you may have an idea to create something with outside, but it may take time. You may not be able to just quit your job, leave that, have a plan, but at least if you can start planting the seed and start cultivating that, you'll never know where it can go. Because there's been so many people who are like, oh, when I was working in corporate America in advertising, I saw like a gap and I decided to start this company. 6 years later, they now are able to be their own founders for a company that's literally leading the charge for people of color. And so I think that's how, when you're in the 5 to 9 space, you're like creating something that you see a gap in the world, you see community, that people want it, and you're going to be the people to bring it to the table for everybody.
And you take the tools from corporate to do so, right?
Leverage, yeah.
Like you have to leverage the people and the resources that you were able to gather there, and then transition in a rightful manner.
And I also see it as, having worked in corporate, we get a firsthand view of where the pitfalls are and the epic fails. And sometimes I think the best approach, and I've said this off the record, on the record, you don't ever want to make it seem like you're trying to be so inclusive. Like, those who try to be so woke.
Yeah, everything is not for everybody. Like, let's be honest.
Make it really work for you. It's like when I do consulting for certain smaller businesses, restaurants, and they want to be in every social platform. No, not every platform applies to you.
No, you have to be intent. And that's like, on our podcast, we have a lot of episodes that talk to what are the right resources and tools to help you for your market, for what you're doing. And a lot of people don't understand when it comes to like branding and marketing themselves, they need to follow like where their niche is. You know what I mean? Instagram's not for everybody. And also Instagram doesn't work for everyone, right? Yeah. Maybe it's LinkedIn, depending on what you want to do. Maybe you want to do it, be a thought leader in your space. That's LinkedIn. That's the platform from you. You want to be a service or provide goods. Maybe Facebook is the proper platform, right? It's like understanding those tools. And on our podcast, we talk a lot to that because we have a lot of expertise in it. But we also bring lots of guests on who are visionaries and who have like done this. They've done the work. They already know. And so they're able to like provide the gems to help people and guide them.
Oh, absolutely. It's like everyone wants to be on Instagram, but when you actually look at the numbers, the sales that come from Instagram, you'll get you visibility.
Yeah.
I was just
if you're lucky.
Yes, I was just watching a conference actually today on social, and so much has changed from like a month ago, even 6 years ago. So it's definitely always evolving. You have to see what works for your industry and for your business, and also what your consumer wants. Like people like stray away from that. It's like it's not what works for you, it's what works for your community.
Yeah, because now Instagram launched a week ago the whole subscription, but some people are like, they may not want to pay. I'm just happy watching the free content.
Correct.
I don't want to monetize Correct. And it's almost like Instagram's just kind of banking on that OnlyFans, because there's going to be those. No, when you think about it, because now through that, people are going to make their own little private videos that you pay for and subscribe for. They're trying to take that market of people.
They're trying to keep people on the app as long as possible, because it's putting $1 in their pocket because their advertisers are winning.
Yes. So, in that sense, but then to your point, Facebook, a lot of sales actually do come from Facebook.
They do. If you know how to do
It's just
Facebook
not the
ads,
sexiest thing anymore, you know.
And it's harder to
It is.
advertise on there because there's so many like do's and don'ts for serving a business.
Yes, so that's great. So the podcast actually has a wealth of information that you ladies could be doing. How many episodes, like when you guys put it together, do you go in and just record a whole bunch, or you actually have set times that you go in and do it?
So where do I begin? So we started weekly when we first launched.
Which we don't advise anybody to do. If you don't have a
God
team,
bless.
do not do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just a lot of adverse experiences. And so now we're a bi-weekly episode. We launch bi-weekly. And at first we were kind of just recording bi-weekly. Now we kind of give ourselves some more time out before episodes are dropped so we can do more research.
Absolutely.
We can promote the episodes, and it just gives us a little bit of cushion as information rolls out, because although we do not record live, we treat the podcast as a live show as well. We do some minor editing, but it's as raw as possible.
It's meant to be as raw as possible,
Correct.
clean cut, because if you're sitting there trying to do edits and all that, eventually when the sponsorship dollars are coming
Yes,
in, okay?
let's
I'm glad that you talk our talk,
manifest it.
Lydia. She gets it.
the sponsorship, the little product placement.
Yes, the branded content.
Anybody watching, reach out, okay?
We're all about branded
Then,
content.
yeah.
But we have, to answer your initial question, we have 6 seasons, 110 episodes to date. So we have a lot of
You've done
content.
a lot of work.
And over 50 guests.
Yeah, like we have a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people that have done amazing things. We are fans of all our guests, to be
Yes.
honest, because they've done amazing things in the
Yeah.
industry across the different backgrounds.
So I'm going to ask each of you who has been a guest that stood out in your minds and you've had so many, so I know it's hard to say, but any episode, or if it's not a guest in particular, a topic or episode that really comes to mind is like, yeah, that one was it for me.
I'm such a not good with like memory, but some of the episodes that I really do enjoy recording is when me, Ayanna, and our digital strategist Carla get together. We call it water cooler talk, or like
The coffee break.
the coffee break. And so it's just kind of like 3 friends kicking back, chatting about like updates in life and work and personal things.
That's
so I
nice.
just feel like it's not too stuffy.
Yeah, it's organic. We're going to take a break, but when you come back, I want to hear your list. Stay tuned. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Stay with us. Back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. So, Ayanna, before we take a break, we're about to go through your list of your most memorable, your top guests, or a moment.
Yeah. So we've had a lot of pivots, right? And we've gone from like recording in a studio with people to recording virtually. So it's just a different vibe. I really enjoy our in-person moments. And so some of our like in-person episodes, we had like this Lisa Francoeur on our podcast, and she goes by Fancy, and she calls herself the Oprah of Tech. She was like a hoot. It was like one of the best episodes ever.
Experience.
It was. She's a whole vibe.
Okay.
And so that was really fun, and just all of our guests in person when we used to do our studio format, it's just live because it's like you're sitting with like friends, like on a couch.
It's like this, very simple.
Yeah, like just talking.
That's
and
the vibe. I
shooting
always
the
try to
breeze.
do that.
Yeah, it's really fun. I will say though, we are virtual now, and so we also actually just launched a YouTube channel, so we're really excited about that.
Good job.
And one of our guests this season is the lovely Skittles Ortiz, and they were amazing, and the energy and everything that they brought to the segment was really cool. So that I enjoyed that.
Definitely check it out.
Yeah, we're going to check it out. So basically, it's the YouTube. They type in non-corporate girls.
Yes,
you guys are going to pop up.
Yes.
Which leads me into the whole social media and contact info. I definitely want to make sure everybody here who's watching has an opportunity to get to connect with you guys. So what's the best? Give me the website, your social, everything else.
Yes, so you can find us at www.noncorporategirls.com. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook.
We're on TikTok, we're on YouTube.
Okay, you can find us. We're not hard to reach. And slide in the DMs if you feel comfortable.
Right. If there's anybody at home who might want to be a guest or think they might be guest worthy, because I know you're always researching content.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Or has a point of view or has questions to ask that we can answer on the episode. We always love hearing.
So you do take point of views.
Yes,
So
we love when
kind of
our
like a
community
strawberry
finds
letter,
us.
little question that comes in. That's great.
We love that. And we also are really, really open to branded sponsorships. Like, we want to do more of those
Partnerships
things.
and stuff.
So, so if you feel like we could be a good fit and align with your vision and mission, reach out to us. We're always around.
There are different ways and opportunities for us to connect.
Absolutely, because especially with branded content, that's actually one of my favorites because you get to co-collaborate with them. So it's not like certain media formats are so rigid that it's you can't mold it a little bit. But if you have that flexibility to incorporate their content into it, it could be some of their messaging, subtle ways like their colors.
Through TikTok, on the podcast itself, through YouTube. Like, there's so many ways. We're creatives by heart, so we would definitely find a way to put it together in a cool way.
That is great. What is the rest of this year, which is almost out? It's so crazy to think. And then give us a sneak peek, if you can, of 2023.
Yeah. So we actually have 4 more episodes left to go before we're done for the year. Then we take a short hiatus. We come back next year, hopefully with more cooler guests, popping episodes on YouTube, more brand sponsorships. And Delaila and I are really trying to get out there with being like on panels and conferences and going to things like that. So we're hoping to get more of those endorsements coming our way.
Yes. That's awesome. You know, just it's a lot of work. It really is. To get this, like when you said weekly, because I know people who have tried that, and it's like it's
intense.
The burnout is real.
Yeah,
trying to prepare for that,
and the turnover,
just constantly having to produce.
Correct.
It's just a lot, especially if you have a 9 to 5. You know, I will say too, we literally just relaunched our brand. So we have a new brand website, and there's so much good content. Please subscribe to our newsletter. We always are rolling out great things and resources, for everyone. So.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. You know, so we want that. You know, people are looking for that good community, that good vibe. You know, in the know, what's happening. You know, so you know the non-corporate girls.
And we're funny.
We're your girls.
We're your girls. We're funny. We have so much insight and information in these newsletters. So definitely sign up.
Absolutely. Any final words on your part, Delaila?
No, just thank you to our listeners for supporting thus far, and for those who will be newbies on the podcast, we welcome you. Definitely, you're a friend of the brand.
And yourself?
I would say when you think about non-corporate, think about it as a mindset. We're only non-corporate girls because it's 2 girls who happen to run a podcast, but we're so much more than that. And when you think about it, we want you to remember that you are redefining how you're pivoting in your purpose, and we're here to help you do that.
Yes, authentically.
That is so true. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yes.
I'm going to catch a couple episodes for sure. I'm super excited to hear it. You know, that I've met you both. Yes. Great energy. So everybody at home, go and find it. You could end the other episodes if they want to catch up.
Yes, I was definitely going to say.
Our website has a huge archive. Like, you can't miss it.
You can search
our website
for
is
a specific topic, and you definitely don't have to listen to it in order.
Nope.
Think about where you are in your process and choose an episode that way.
That's a good way to do it. You know, the video library is there, and it's visuals as well, right?
Correct. We have the YouTube and the podcast.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys have all your tools. You have everything available for you. Make sure you go and do that. Check them out. I want to thank you, ladies, so much. You've been amazing. Honestly, it's such great energy. It's a great vibe. So it's the non-corporate girls. Like they said, it's on their Facebook, their Twitter, their YouTube. Just type in Non-Corporate Girls Podcast and everything will come up. And you'll see these 2 faces. And, you know, you guys are the mains on there.
Yes.
We are.
Any consideration, any plans of just expanding?
Well, we would love to be on TV eventually.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, hello, Netflix, Hulu.
Yeah. I could definitely see like a type of Red Table Talk type of vibe.
Yes.
Lydia, you are so.
I mean,
like,
hey,
I was like, this is that perfect. You guys chill, talk about it, talk with the topic. But more for our demo, because I kind of feel not red table talk
Exactly.
skews a little older, which is fine. It's great. I enjoy it. I watch it sometimes,
Yeah.
but I also think like to really unpack these topics sometimes and have it in our real like brown girls of a certain age group.
Correct. Just graduating college, starting their first jobs and careers, people trying to get promoted, or even change industries. I think we're a good fit for those kind of people.
Yeah, and about changing industries, people forget that it's not a bad thing. It's not gone are those days where you keep one job for 40 years and
Correct.
you have to like die doing that job.
Our biggest thing we talk about is transferable skills. Like, how do you leverage that? How do you use that? And how do you make it work for corporate and non-corporate?
You know, for the 9 to 5 and then 5 to 9.
Exactly.
I'm going to be texting everybody. I'm like, I'm in 5 to 9 mode right now.
Yes, I love
So,
it. I love it.
I
We
love
gotta
it.
get some merch.
I'm 5 to 9 right now.
Yes.
Okay. Be a little paddle. Be like, if it's before 8,
Lydia be hustling.
okay? 9 to 5. Then it's going to be 5 to 9, you know. But this is great. You guys are so amazing.
Thank you.
I really want everybody at home to seriously check this out. These two ladies are on point. They know their stuff, and it's the Non-Corporate Girls podcast. All right, so as always, if you have any questions or comments, you can send us an email at info@beyondfocusmedia.com. I'm your host, Lydia Patel. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be back again next week. Same time, same place. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Stay with us.
Beyond Focus TV show wants and needs your feedback. Did we blunder? Please let us know so we can improve. Was the show helpful to you? Drop us a note so we can share the success with our staff members. Is there something you think we could do better? We welcome new ideas and new approaches to old ideas. Do you have a great suggestion? Let us know and we'll work on it. If you would like to share your comments anonymously, please send us an email at info@beyondfocusmedia.com. If you want to get in touch with the executive producer directly, send him an email at gene@beyondfocusmedia.com. We really look forward to hearing from you.